Hey y'all, let's talk about whether or not supply chain is a good career. And then last but not least, let's talk about how you can get into it with some entry level roles. If you haven't met already, my name is Courtney. I'm your bestie here helping you navigate this ghetto that is adulting and getting to the bag too. And I'm a lead at a big tech company, but my career began in supply chain. So let's get into it. Do I think supply chain is a great career? For me, my experience was that it was a pretty solid career. I got to do a lot of different kinds of projects and I had an expansive experience that allowed me to be successful in the role that I'm in today. The sexy parts of what I did actually made it really exciting. I got to present to senior executives on a regular basis, so I got really strong presentation skills, really strong data analytics skills by being able to mine data and simplify processes. And then I got to travel across the country where I implemented solutions, educated people on what demand planning was, and developed processes with different sales teams. I should note the role that I was in as a demand planner, it required a lot of collaboration with diverse teams, and this is how I was able to identify these opportunities to try, explore, and implement and do new things. I'll also note that this was expanded scope from what the requirements are for my role, but things that interested me and allowed me to be fulfilled in the job that I did. Now, I'm not going to sell you on a dream. I'm going to be very honest. There were definitely some unsexy parts to being in demand. Some of these things included the things like the core work, like managing a forecast, going into a system, making sure all your SKUs are aligned, that there isn't any kind of statistical nuance, and scrubbing your forecast to ensure that you're projecting the future accurately. Some people love this. I just don't like repetitive tasks, and that made it a challenge for me. But what I will say is the experience that I had throughout my career in supply chain was invaluable. Like I said, it really helped me land the job that I have today. And I will also note that those experiences that I had were because I advocated for myself to be able to be expansive in the experiences that I was having. And I will say you can do that almost in any role if you're really interested in rolling up your sleeves and getting down and dirty, but that's not for everybody. So in short, to answer the question, I do think supply chain is a really great career, but I do think it is what you make of it. There's definitely going to be some good things that help you grow in your career, whether it lands in supply chain ultimately or expands somewhere else. And there's going to be some things that are not so sexy. So just prepare yourself for both of them. Look at the job requirements and the job roles and responsibilities so you can be clear on what the core work is. And last but not least, I promised you guys some entry-level roles, right? So I did some research for you. So if you are interested in moving into the supply chain space and you're just kind of like, where do I start without experience? These are the entry-level roles that exist in the supply chain space and their national average salaries. Check it out, see if it's something that interests you and apply for it. I think supply chain is a solid career if you're just starting out or if you're trying to figure out what's next.